Right. So in previous class, we learned some different types of boring tools. So among them is this is one of the type of boring tool, that is ratchet brace. Okay. So once again we'll discuss in this class also. This is the head of the ratchet brace, frame or crank. This will be the handle, and here there will be a ratchet, chuck, and jaws. Okay, these are the different types, these different parts of the ratchet brace. Okay, right. You can see here. So next one is wheel brace. So next boring tool is a wheel brace. So this is a diagram of wheel brace. It consists of different parts here. You can see. So this will be the handle. Okay, and this will be the gear. Okay, so we can see a gear here or a wheel. Okay, and this part is called handle, lever, chuck, and jaws. Okay, next. So brace, wheel brace is used for making small holes with drills. So with the help of drills, so we can produce a small holes. So the parts are handle, gear wheel, wheel handle, chuck, okay, and the jaws of chuck. You can see here, bottom part of the chuck. So these are the jaws. So jaws of chuck holds the round and parallel shank drills. So the jaw holds the round and parallel shank drills only. Okay, so to produce drilling on the work surface or workpiece. Next, so drills are rotated by operating the crank. Okay, so drills are rotated by operating the crank. This will be the crank lever. Okay, you can see here. This is a diagram of a wheel brace. So next boring tool is a auger. So this is a diagram of a auger. So it consists of handle and screw point edge. So this will be the screw point. Okay, it consists of a spiral flutes. So this is okay. Next, so it is used for providing long deep holes. If you want to produce long deep holes, so with the help of this auger we can produce the longer deep holes of 6 mm to 40 mm. So it consists of steel bar. So this will be the steel bar. Steel bar. So lower part of the bar has cylindrical auger or floats. So this will be the lower part of the auger or bar. So which has a cylindrical augers or floats. Okay. At the bottom screw point is provided. You can see here. So after the floats, so at the bottom there will be a screw point. Okay, so which is provided. So this screw point acts as pivot and helps in centering. So this is acting as a pivot and also helping to mark centrings on the workpiece. Okay, the upper parts of the bar, you can see here, this will be the bar. The upper parts of the bar is left is left plane. So this will be the left plane. So top end folds into the eye. So there will be a eye here. Okay, so the top end of the bar is forged into a eye through wooden handle. This will be the wooden handle. okay, which this is inserted into or forced into this eye into the wooden handle. Okay, the handle is held in both the hands. So I have to hold the handle with both the hands and rotate the motor underwards by pressing downwards. So next one is bits. So bits are used with brace to make holes on wooden work or woodwork. These are the types of bits: shell bit, fastener bit, countersink bit, expansion bit. Okay, center bit, drill bit. So they are the different types of bits. Okay, and also a reamer bit. So we can see the diagram of a bit here. Shell bit. You can see the diagram of a shell bit here. So this type of shell bits are used for boring holes or for making holes. So where accuracy and finish of the hole are not important. So we can use this type of shell bits where the accuracy and finish of the hole are not important. Okay. Next, holes can be made up to 12 mm diameter. Okay. So with the help of this shell bit, we can make holes up to a diameter of 12 mm. 12 mm. So this is the one of the type of bits. That is Fastener bits. Okay, so this type of bits are that is personal bits are used to cut very clean holes. Okay, so these are used to cut very clean holes. Okay, and these are useful for blind holes and partial holes. Okay, next, so these are provided with that is these type of bits are provided with small locating point and circular rim to guide the bit. Next, so it can make holes of 10 mm to 30 mm diameter. Okay, and the next type of bit is that is countersink bit. Okay, we can see the diagram of a countersink bit here. Okay, so they are also known as rose bit. So this will be the looks like a rose. It is also known as rose bit. So these bits are used for countersinking previously drilled holes to insert counter sunk head of wood screws. Okay, we can see here. So these type of sink bits are used for counter sinking. So previously drilled holes into sorry to insert counter sunk heads. Okay, to insert the counter sunk heads of wood screws. Next, it consists of a long steel bar. So this will be the long steel bar. So bottom of the bar, okay, this part. So bottom of the bar is conical and provided with the cutting edge. Okay, this we can see here. So bottom of the bar is conical, okay, and provided with the cutting edges. So you can see the next type of bit that is expansion bit. So we can see here. Look at this figure. Okay, so this expansion bit is used for boring shallow holes. If you want to produce shallow holes on the workpiece, so with the help of this expansion bit, we can produce the shallow boring holes. Okay, boring shallow holes. So this type of bits, okay, in this type of bits, the adjustable cutter is provided. Okay, there will be adjustable cutter Okay, so we have to cut the metal with the help of a that adjustable cutter. Next, holes of 13 mm to 125 mm can be made. So with the help of this expansion bit, so we can produce 13 mm to 125 mm diameter of holes. Next, so these type of bits are available in four sizes with interchangeable cutters. Okay, so we can see the next type of bit, that is center bit. So it is suitable for boring shallow holes across the grains. So across the grains we have to, suppose if we want to make holes, okay, shallow holes, so we can prefer for the center bit. Okay, it is suitable for boring shallow holes across the grains of the wooden workpiece. So the bottom carries screw point. You can see the diagram here. So it carries a screw point, a cutting edge, and a screw. Okay, so we can see, we can it is, so the bottom edge carries screw point, cutting edge, and a screw. Okay, the cutting edge does the primary cutting. So what is the purpose of cutting edge? Means it does the cutting operation with the help of a cutter. Next, screw helps to cleaning the holes. So with the help of screw pin can clean the holes. So deep holes cannot be drilled as it has no fluids. Okay. So due to the absence of the fluids on the shank of this drill bit, so this center bit, so we cannot able to make deep holes. Okay. So to carry swath. So we can see the diagram of a drill bit here. So we can see the piston drill. It consists of a floats. Okay, right. So drill bit is used for boring clean holes in hard works. In hard works, so if you want to produce a holes with the help of a boring tool, so we have to select the drill bit. Okay, to produce the holes on wooden workpiece. Okay, so drill bit provided with twisted floats. So this drill bit is provided with twisted float and two cutting lips. Okay, so it has two cutting lips on the edges. Okay, so with the help of that cutting lips, we can remove the, we can cut the material from the workpiece. So next one is reamer bit. Okay, so it is a square tapered body. So this will be the, okay, square tapered body. So and this type of bit is used for enlarging the drilled holes to required size or desired size. So this type of bits are used for enlarging the existing holes to a desired sizes. So next tools are striking tools. So next type of tools are striking tools. You can see the diagram of this, some of the striking tools here. You can see your sledgehammer, claw hammer, ball peen hammer, and also mallet. So these are comes under the striking tools. So striking or hitting is required for various woodworking tools like chisels and nails from top to drive into hole. If you want to produce a, if you want to drill a hole, or if you want to produce a drill a nail into the wood, so we have to definitely require a thing on the heads of the chisels or nails, that is top of the chisels. Okay, so it requires various types of tools for striking. So striking tools are required for assembling of different parts. Okay, if you want to assemble the different parts, so you have definitely we required some hitting or striking tools. So hence the tools used for this purpose are known as striking tools. Yeah, the most commonly used striking tools used in carpentry are hand hammers. So in carpentry, so these are the common types of striking tools which are used. Okay, and hammer, and hammers and mallets. Okay, so you can see the diagram of a hammer here. That is curved claw hammer. So we can see the diagram here. So this will be the hammer diagram. Okay, which is having a claw. Okay, so hence it is called claw hammer. Okay, we can see the parts of the hammer. So this part is called face. Okay, and this part is called throat. Next, neck, head, cheek, eye, claw, and also a wooden or plastic handle. So mostly it is made with wood. The handle is made with wood. Okay, right. So hammers. They are light and small. So these hammers are light in weight and smaller in size. Okay, they are primarily used for driving the nails. So what is the purpose of hammers? They are primarily used for driving the nails, which are drilled to the workpiece. So the parts of hammers are handle. So it is made of wood. Next, head. You can see the part of the head. It is made up of steel. Okay. Next is face. This will be the striking face. Okay. Next, types of hammers. So there are different types of hammers. So among them, first one is Warrington hammer, second claw hammer, and third one is wooden or mallet hammer. Okay. So first one is among them. First one is Warrington hammer. You can see the diagram of a Warrington hammer. Okay. So this will be the ball peen. It looks like a half ball. Okay, we call it as ball peen. This is a pin which is in the shape of a ball. Okay, it is a ball pin, and this will be the steel head and the face. This will be the face, and this part is long length part is called handle made up of wood. Okay, so and hammers are mostly used for bench work and light work. If you want to striking with Warrington hammer, okay, so we are preferring for this Warrington hammer. They are mostly used for bench works and light works. Okay, and next is head is made up of cast steel. You can see here. Okay, this head is made up of cast steel. So one side of head is face. So this will be the head. Okay, so one side of the head is a face, and the other side is having a pin. Okay, this will be the pin. Okay, so wooden handle fits into the eye of the head. So there will be a eye here for the head. So this eye into this eye. So we have to insert the wooden handle or fits the wooden handle. Okay, steel wedge is inserted into the eye to form a rigid joint. If the joint is not in rigid, okay, so we have to insert a wedge, okay, into the eye of the head to get a rigid joint or to form a rigid joint. Okay, next, size of hammer is designated by weight of hammer head. So how we are designating the size of the hammer is based on the weight of the hammer head. Okay, next one is claw hammer. This is the diagram of a claw hammer. You can see the diagram here. So this part is called face, and this will be the eye head, head of eye or eye of the head, and this part is called cheek, and this will be the handle. Okay, and there will be a claw here. Okay, yeah. So head is made of cast iron, so cast steel. So as compared to the previous one, that is Warrington. So these both the heads or both the hammers heads are made with cast steel. Okay, so this carries striking force at one end. This head carries the striking force at one end. So next, so this carries the head carries claw at the other hand. Okay, so the for the head, one side is having a face and the other side is having a claw. Okay, so striking force is used to drive nails. Okay, so where we require striking force means to drive the nails and other striking works. Okay, next. So where we are using claw. So if you want to remove the nails out from the wood or wooden surface, so with the help of a claw, so we can remove the nails. So wooden handle is fitted to the head height. Okay, wedge is inserted into the eye to form rigid joint. Okay, the size of hammer is designated by weight of the hammer. These three are similar to the Wagner hammer only. Okay. Next, so it varies from 0.25 kg to 0.75 kg. Okay, this is the weight of the hammer. Okay, claw hammer weight 0.25 kg to 0.75 kg. Okay, and the next one is that is wooden hammer or mallet. Okay, this is also called a wooden hammer or mallet. You can see here. The entire hammer is made with wood, or in some cases the handle is made with wood, and this face head is made with plastic in some cases. Okay, right. So head is made of hard wood. Okay, next striking force is flat. Striking face, sorry, we can see here, striking face is flat. So it is a rectangular, or we can see a rectangular. It is a rectangular or round in shape. Okay, the head of the mallet is round in shape or in rectangular in shape. Okay, which provides with wooden handle. Okay, okay, and it is used for striking the cutting tools like chisels and quills. So next one is holding tools. So the tools are devices used to hold and support the work during operations. So during the operations, okay, the tools are the tools are devices used to hold and support the work, okay, while performing different operations like cutting, marking, finishing, okay, etc. are known as holding tools or holding devices. Okay, these are the different types of holding tools or devices. So workbench, workbench, bench wise or woodworkers wise. Okay, bench hook, bench top, bench hold fast, sash cramp or bar cramp, C cramp. Okay, so these are the different types of holding devices used in carpentry. Yeah, there are different types of welding tools. Okay, yeah, among them, first one is work bench. You can see the diagram of the work bench here. Okay, so basic supporting device. So bench work is the basic supporting device for the work. So a heavy table. So it is a heavy table. Okay, so it will be the heavy table. Okay, made of hard wood. So this bench is made with hard wood. Okay, heavy in size. So four carpentry devices are fitted on both sides, okay, of bench to hold jaws for operation. So for this bench, so we have four carpentry vices are fitted. So what we can fit the four carpentry vices. Okay, we have to fit it on this bench for both the sides. Okay, to hold the jobs for different operations or to produce different operations or to perform different operations. Okay, so racks or shelves are provided to keep tools. So racks or shelves. So for this workbench, so racks and shelves are also provided to keep tools. Next, other accessories provided on bench. Okay, so these are the other accessories provided on the bench. That is bench stop. This will be the part of bench stop. Next, bench hook. We can see here. So these are the other accessories provided on the workbench. Bench stop, bench hook, civil rest for civil rest for plane. This will be the civil rest for plane. Next, length of bench. Length of bench of about 1.5 to 1.8 meters. That will be the length of the bench and width of the bench. So it is of about 0.7 to 0.9 meters. Next, height of the bench. So is about 0.7 meters. Okay, that will be the height of the bench. And next our holding device is a bench vise. You can see the diagram of a bench vise here. The next one is bench vise. Okay, so it is made up of clay cast iron or a steel. So this bench vise is made up of a clay cast iron or with steel. Okay, it has two jaws. So these are the two jaws. Okay. Next, one jaw is fixed to the side of the table. So this you can see here. So one jaw is fixed. This jaw is fixed to the side of the table. Okay. Other jaw is movable, and this will be the movable jaw. This will be the fixed jaw, which is fixed to the table. So movable jaw is mounted on a screw. So this jaw is mounted on a this is a movable jaw. This will be the mounted on a screw. Okay. Next, screw carries the screw. You can see the screw carries handle outside. So this is the screw which carries a handle at the outside of the movable jaw. Next, which rotation of the handle, okay, causes the movable jaw to open and close. So by rotating this handle, which causes the movable of the jaw, of movement of the jaw, okay, takes place. That is open and close. The job is held between these two jobs. That is fixed in between fixed jaw and movable jaw. Okay. Faces of jaws are aligned with wood. The face of these jaws are aligned with wood. Okay. And used for planing, sawing, and chiseling on bench. Okay. If you want to perform a planing operation on the workpiece, so you have to take the bench-wise support. Okay, you have to produce the operation whenever you want to produce planning operation on the workpiece. Okay, so we have to fix the work between these two jaws, and also while cutting, that is sawing, and also for chiseling operation on the bench. Next one is bench hook. Okay, you can see the diagram of a bench hook here. This will be the side view, and this will be the top view of the bench hook. Okay, so it is used to support the work for planing and cutting. Okay, so whenever you are performing planing and cutting operations, okay, this bench hook supports the work. Okay, this bench hook is made up of wood. Okay, and can be placed conveniently on bench work. So we can that is so we can adjust the bench hook as per our convenient. Okay, on the bench, that is workbench. Next one is bench stop. So it is a small piece of wood. Okay, so projecting above the top of the bench, so which is projecting above the top of the bench. Okay, and this is used to prevent the work from moving forward when being planed. So whenever performing planing operation, so this bench stops the or prevents the work to move in forward direction. So next one is bench hold fast. So this is a diagram of a bench hold fast. Okay, so it is used for securing work to the bench. Okay, so with the help of this bench hold fast, we can hold the workpiece on the bench or securing the work on the bench. Next, it consists of cast iron pillar. It consists of cast iron pillar and steel arm and screw with handle. This will be the screw handle. Okay, this will be the bench workpiece, and this will be the steel arm. Okay, this will be the pillar. Okay, next the pillar is fixed in a hole. This is fixed in a hole board on the bench. Okay, next screw. This screw operates the arm. Okay, this is screw which operates the arm to hold the work on the table. Okay, next one is sash clamp or bar clamp. So it also looks like a almost similar to the bench vise. Okay, you can see the diagram here. So these are the different parts of a sash clamp or bar clamp. So handle, okay, screw, this will be the head, movable jack, and this is adjustable head. Okay, next. So sash clamp is used for holding wide works. Okay, so like box or frame construction. Okay, if you want to hold the large or wide work pieces, so we can hold with the help of a sash clamp or bar clamp. Okay, so holding the glued pieces tightly. Okay, so which this sash clamp holds the glued pieces tightly. So it consists of T iron steel. Okay, this we can see here. So it consists of steel body. So carries holes at equal intervals. So on the body, we have number of holes here. Okay, at equal intervals. Okay, so these you can see here. Okay, next one end of the cramp forms the head. You can see here. So one end of the cramp forms the head uh, that carries screw fitted rigidly with T slots. So okay, next other end, that is one end of screw fitted with movable jaw. So handle is fitted on the other end of the screw. You can see here. Handle is fitted to the other end of the screw. Okay. So handle rotates the screw and screw forwards the movable jaw. That causes, so when the handle rotates, that causes movement of the movable jaw in forward direction. So sliding jaw or adjustable jaw mounted on body can be changed anywhere on these slots. So we can adjust this adjustable head or jaw on anywhere. So there are different sizes of holes here. So you can adjust this adjustable head or jaw on this T slots or T iron. Okay, T iron. Okay, in anywhere. Next, clamping pin is inserted. So with the, how we are holding this adjustable head is with the help of a clamping pin. So this clamping pin is inserted in a hole of T iron. Okay. Next, two pieces can be held tightly between two jaws. Between these two jaws, we can hold the two pieces by application of pressure on the screw. By the application of pressure on the screw, we can hold the two pieces, okay, between these two jaws. So next one is hand screw. This is a diagram of a hand screw, and it is used to hold the work, so which requires pressure on wide area. Okay, so where we are using this hand screw is used to hold the work which requires pressure on wide area. Okay, so next one is G clamp or C clamp. You can see the diagram here. Mostly it is called G clamp. Okay, right. So it is used for holding small works on bench. Okay, so with the help of this G clamp, so we can hold the small works on the bench. So it consists of a frame. This will be the frame. Reddish color is the frame with fixed jaw. This will be the fixed jaw at one end, and the movable jaw at the other. This will be the movable jaw at the other end. Okay, this movable jaw is operated by a screw. Okay, this movable jaw is operated by a screw and a thumb nut or handle. Okay, this G clamp is used to hold small parts of gluing. Small parts for gluing. For gluing purpose, we have to hold the small working parts with the help of G clamp. So frame is made up of malleable iron. The frame of this G clamp is made with malleable iron. So screw with jaw. Okay. Screw with movable jaw is made up of steel. The screw with a movable jaw is made up of a steel. Okay. So that we can complete this holding devices. Okay.